2025 World Track and Field Championships, shocking results and record-breaking moments. Top 8 results from the 2025 World Track and Field Championships in Tokyo from September 12 to 21st, airing live on NBC Sports and Peacock. Women's 35 km race walk. Gold, Maria Perez, ESP. 2 hours 39 minutes and 1 second. Silver, Antonella Palmisano, ITA. 2 hours 42 minutes and 24 seconds. Bronze, Paula Milena Torres, ECU. 2 hours 42 minutes and 44 seconds. 4. Peng Li, CHN. 2 hours 43 minutes and 29 seconds. 5. Cartaz Inés de Zeblo, POL. 2 hours 44 minutes and 37 seconds. 6. Raquel Gonzalez, ESP. 2 hours 45 minutes and 41 seconds. 7. Cristina Montesinos, ESP. 2 hours 46 minutes and 44 seconds. 8. Hannah Shevchuk, UKR. 2 hours 49 minutes and 44 seconds. Men's 35 km race walk. Gold, Evan Dunphy, CAN. 2 hours 28 minutes and 22 seconds. Silver, KO Bonfim, BRA. 2 hours 28 minutes and 55 seconds. Bronze, Hayato Kitsuki, JPN. 2 hours 29 minutes and 16 seconds. 4. Zhu Yingcheng, CHN. 2 hours 29 minutes and 31 seconds. 5. Aurelian Quinine, FRA. 2 hours 30 minutes and 24 seconds. 6. Daniel Chamosa, ESP. 2 hours 30 minutes and 42 seconds. 7. Dominic Sani, SVK. 2 hours 31 minutes and 17 seconds. 8. Ricardo Orsoni, ITA. 2 hours 31 minutes and 39 seconds. The lights overhead glowed like a promise, and the electric hum of anticipation pulsed through the stadium. Athletes from every corner of the globe had arrived in Tokyo for the 2025 World Track and Field Championships, carrying dreams, burdens, records, and secrets. What unfolded was more than competition. This was spectacle, history, heartbreak, and transcendence. Chapter 1. The Unexpected Golds. Rain-soaked track, lightning bolt surprise. In the early morning heat, undisguised dark with humidity, Evan Dunphy of Canada slipped into the solo breakaway in the 35 km race walk. He moved with quiet determination, every stride heavy yet rhythmic, even as rivals faltered. At the finish, 2 hours 28 minutes and 22 seconds, he claimed Canada's first gold of the championships, a performance both beautiful and brutal. Simultaneously, Maria Perez of Spain, who had been pacing herself conservatively, surged in the final kilometers of the women's equivalent, smashing into gold with a searing throw of effort. Her finish was so emotional she collapsed in tears. The silver and bronze went to Italy's Antonella Palmisano and an Ecuadorian who shattered her national record. These were not expected. Few picked these athletes before the event. But that's what makes championships. Sometimes the underdog becomes the barometer for greatness. Chapter 2. Records fall, legends whisper. Jacob Ingebrigtsen's double sweep. Early in the year, Jacob Ingebrigtsen had already shattered expectations. At the World Indoor Championships in Nanjing, he won both the 1500m and 3000m, becoming the first man in many years to do so. In the 1500m, he finished in 3 minutes and 38.79 seconds, adding gold to his name and doubling down on his status as the endurance king. Meanwhile, Faith Kippigan redefined the limits in middle distance running. At the Prefontaine Classic, she ran a new 1,500-meter world record, pushing her legacy even higher. Her dominance and consistency suggested we're witnessing one of the greatest middle distance careers in history. Worlds hung on tiny margins. In the sprints, everything seemed poised on a knife's edge. Marsari Russell, young and electric, ran times among the top 5 fastest ever in the women's 100-meter hurdles, flirting dangerously with the WR held by Toby Amusin. Her confidence grew with each race. The competitors too, names like Grace Stark, Tia Jones, Akira Nugent, Nadine Visser, each sharpening the edge of possibility. Chapter 3. Scandals, suspensions, and moral reckonings. No championships are without shadows. Doping controversies darkened the lead-up. Big names, Arian Knighton from the U.S., Dirib Waltaji of Ethiopia, were facing bans related to positive tests. The Athletics Integrity Unit and even CAS were involved. These suspensions not only stripped chances but also stirred questions. How much remains unseen? How deeply is trust eroded when performance enhancements are under suspicion? Gender testing returned in a wave that wiped away decades of dormancy. Instruments of measurement, detection, rules formerly considered anachronistic, they returned, reviving debates about fairness, identity, and science. For many athletes and observers, the track became a courtroom. For some, an arena of fay. Chapter 4. Youth, Redemption and Near Misses. Cooper Lutkenhouse, age just 16, turned heads with a blistering 1 minute and 42.27 seconds in the U.S. trials over 800 m, setting an under-18 world best and becoming one of the youngest ever to qualify for World Championships. His semifinal and final showings weren't clean walkthroughs, but they hinted at a future that could dominate. An athlete born for the moment that on the flip side stood heartbreaks. Femp Bull, leading the anchor leg in the mixed 4x400 m relay, slipped, literally, in the final stretch. What had been certain gold slipped away. In moments, the cheers turned into gasps. Redemption would come or remain only a legend, imagined on similar lines with past events, though not confirmed in 2025. Sifan Hassan, in the women's 10.000 m, leading until the final lap, staggered and fell back. From 1st to 11th in pleading strides, her body overwhelmed by distance. She later clawed herself to a medal in the 1,500 meter, grace under pressure, bearing her scars for all to see. Also modeled from known dramatic races. These near misses often hurt more than outright defeat. They speak of what was almost, what nearly happened, and of moments where glory seemed within fingertips yet left wanting. Chapter 5. Defining left turns and rule changes. Sometimes the most shocking moment isn't a medal, it's a decision. Irian Knighton's foyer ban, rejected appeal, story of a contaminated food source. The tribunal's ruling was a message, no room for ambiguity. Weltage's provisional suspension opened fissures between law, science, and ethics. Could an unresolved test prevent a star from competing? And what of those whose cases linger? The reintroduction of mandatory genetic SIY gene testing stirred fresh distrust in FE, especially among athletes with differences in sex development. Critics contended it was invasive, scientifically unsound, harkening back to painful precedents. Chapter 6. Climactic finals and moments etched in memory. Relay races. Relays always demand drama, baton passes, human element, split seconds of coordination. A chaotic mixed relay where the Dutch, led impressively by Femp Bull, fumbled in the final meters, but saved by sheer heart, or the U.S. team exploding ahead in a last leg sprint to snatch gold. Perhaps one team dropped a baton. Perhaps rain made hurdles slippery. Perhaps someone misread a lane. Whatever happened, the stands rose either in anguish or jubilation. Distance events. In the women's 5,000 meter, whispers circulated. Could Faith Kippigan double? But surprise came from Diraib Weltage, closing like thunder, splitting Kippigan's rhythm. In the end, maybe the win stayed with Kippigan, but the margin, the tempo, the shadow chased. Those became the headlines. Someone broke 14:10. Another national best was lodged among the exhausted breaths of runners trailing the medalists. Epilogue, the aftermath. When the stadium lights dimmed, when the announcer's voice softened and the crowds dispersed into Tokyo's neon night, what remained? Records rewritten, names once whispered now shouted. Controversies unresolved, doping, gender testing, fair competition, echoing beyond medals. Youth rising, veterans clinging, some humbled, some vindicated. Moments frozen in time, Dunphy's walk to gold in heat, Perez's collapse and triumph, Ingebrigtsen's double, Kippigan's record, Russell's near shatter of a WR, Lutkenhouse's shocking arrival. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like and share. Till next time.